Well. So, another week, another UFC fight night. We got UFC fight night. Jamal Hill versus Khalil Rountree coming up right after the weekend of Buckley versus Kamaru Usman. Now, I'm recording this on a Friday night, aka before the Buckley card. So, if my picks are wrong on the Buckley card and I crash out, well, it was inevitable, all right? Something's rigged, something's wrong in the program, but regardless, all right, we're getting back into the predictions. I'm doing this beforehand just because this is a sick fucking card, and I can't wait to predict it already. I'm really excited for this month. This month is looking crazy for fights, and we're already technically halfway through of this being uploaded, I guess, because I'll probably upload this on a Monday, Tuesday. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the predictions. By the way, catch my streams. I stream anywhere after 8 p.m. EST, so stick around, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as I break down every single UFC fight card every single week. And I do a little bit of other stuff, a little bit of variety, a little bit of gaming, a little bit of, news topics, stuff like that. So hit that subscribe button, watch my empire grow, and be a part of the community. Now, with all that being said, let's get into the predictions. Soik Hyun Ko versus Orban Elliott. Yeah, this is just going to be an Orban Elliott, because I don't know who the fuck this is. Debut, Igor Kel, whatever, Alwin, whatever the fuck, yeah, yeah, okay, so we're going with Orban Elliott. Yeah, what can I say? I mean, young fighter, Orban Elliott, he's kind of solid everywhere, not really great at one thing yet, his debut was against, Val Woodburn, smoked him. Preston Parsons, what can I say? Preston's a big dude, to be fair. But Orban handled him pretty well. And then Basil Hafez, it's a sick KO, kinda, I guess, thing. Yeah, Basil Hafez was a juice head anyways, and he was off cycle. This was, these wins aren't going to age very well, because all these fighters are dog shit, but I think Orban Elliott has, potential to become something at welterweight, and welterweight's becoming very stacked very soon. It's gonna get rough for Orban a little higher up, but I think this debut, I think he probably beats this debut, and I'm basing that off of I don't know who the fuck this is, and I don't care. Okay, it's a debut. I'm a UFC watcher. I'm not a fucking Dana White Contender Series fucking garbage watcher, alright? So we're going to Orban Elliott purely by decision, purely because I don't know the other kid. Moving on, Tagir Ulanbekov versus Azat Maxim. Now, this Azat guy, I remember, but I can't think of him off the top of my head. Charles Johnson. That's not a bad loss, to be fair. That's not a bad loss to have in there. I forgot Tagir's actually a flyweight. Fabricio, that's a woman, bro. What are we talking about? Fabricio Nunez? Alright. Tyson Nam, I guess that's a good win. What the fuck? What even is that? What fight organization is that? The Illuminati? What the fuck is that? That looks like Arabesh from fucking Star Wars. What am I looking at right now? I think Tagir gets this one done, I guess, because his opponent sucks. This kind of just feels like they're trying to get Tagir up there because he's sort of like the failed Dagestani prospect. He's the one who couldn't make it. So, yeah, we're going to go with Tagir, probably submish, probably round one, because who the fuck is this guy? I don't know why I don't remember watching him fight. Decision against Tyson Nam that was split. I don't know. I don't care about this Azat Maxim guy. I can't remember his fights. I have watched every single fight card in the past 3 years, but it gets a little muddy with some of the shit ones. So I don't know, man. Charles Johnson is a good loss to have, but Tagir I think is better than Charles Johnson. We're gonna go with Tagir Ulanbekov, okay? Yeah, maybe we go decision, actually. Charles Johnson's pretty good. Charles Johnson's pretty good. Why is he fighting Tagir? Is Charles Johnson ranked? Am I crazy? Why do you lose to Charles Johnson and then you get a ranked opponent? What the fuck? Also, this Kaya Sakura rank, I kind of agree with. I'm not gonna lie. But what the fuck? Why is this guy fighting up? Like, what the hell? He's getting a ranked opponent? Like, what? Okay. I think this will be vintage Tagir decision. You know, Tagir's good. He's good. He's not like championship level. He's only getting older. He's only gonna get worse over time, in my opinion. I think he's good enough to win. I don't think he's good enough to win spectacularly against Azat Maxim here. So I'm gonna go with Tagir decision. I think it'll probably be boring. I think it'll be 29-28, and someone's gonna be screaming robbery. MMA guru, you know? No, but hey, good, to be fair. Okay, but yeah, moving on. We have Daria. Oh, it's a women's fight. Daria Zeleznikova versus Melissa Mullins. Is one of these chicks Canadian? No, aka I don't have a bias picked here. So anyone new to the channel or streams, I do this very high-tech method, okay, of picking my women's fights. Some people, they like to use the pick doctor. Some people like to use logic and reasoning. I, myself, like to use the coin flip, baby. That's what we do. I went 1-1 in the last showing with the coin. You know, not proud of it, but, you know, coin picked fucking whoever that bum was that man Kayla Harrison beat the shit out of. You know, the coin didn't have its proudest performance, but you know, we get to flip a coin here, okay? So flip a coin. Heads is the woman on the left, tails is the woman on the right. Let's see what we get. Tails. What did I say? Tails on the right? I think I said tails on the right. So we're gonna go with Melissa Mullins, you know, vintage, 29-28, you know, close, competitive, you know, she's got a KO, you know, what can I say, you know, okay, people are picking her, yeah, W coin, alright, so, moving on. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Irina Alexieva versus Claudio Sagula. What the fuck are these names, man? Jesus, there's something on my screen. What the fuck is that? Is that something on my screen or something on the... Oh, that's... What? That's actually the eye. I legit thought something was wrong with my screen here. What the fuck is that? Saiguta? I don't know how to pronounce this shit. You know, I believe this Irina girl, I actually do know. I think I've actually seen her fight, okay? So, let's hope the coin gets it right. Heads is the one on the left, tails is the one on the right. Let's see what we get. Well, you know, sucks for Irina, but it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. Sagula by decision. There's probably going to be a finish. In this fight. Yeah, she's younger. What can I say, guys? There's probably going to be a finish in this fight purely because the early prelims and shit for women have been really, really good in terms of finishes. So, you know, they probably have like a 90% finish rate this year. I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, we're going to go with... do I betray the coin? Because I'm not going to betray the coin. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to betray the coin. We're going to go Claudia Sagula. Yeah, moving on. Muhammad Usman versus Hamdi Abdul Wahab. This fucking guy. Alright. Hamdi Abdul Wahab, I believe, owns a restaurant, if I'm not mistaken. And Muhammad Usman, obviously brothers of Kamaru Usman. Both of these guys are shit, I'll be honest with you. Hamdi over here, I don't think his last fight he won. I thought he clearly lost. And Mo Usman sucks. So, you know, vintage heavyweight, someone gasses out in the first and someone dies in the second. You know, vintage heavyweight performance in the UFC. 36 years old for Muhammad Usman. If I'm not mistaken, he's coming from like a different background as well. Honestly, I thought this Jake Collier one was kind of a robbery as well. Muhammad Usman is shit. Like, he is dog shit. His striking is terrible. Nowhere close to Usman's. His wrestling is bad. He's able to, like, outmuscle fat fucks. That's about it. And even then, like, even Jake fucking, what was his name? Jake Collier. Even he can fucking hold Usman against the cage if he wanted to. Usman's got no technique. He's open on the feet. He has a lot of power, but it's heavyweight, so who gives a fuck? Hamdi Abdul Wahab doesn't have a lot of power, in my personal opinion. Is shit everywhere. Doesn't have a great chin. Does Muhammad Usman get cut for being dog shit? This is the question. Do we think Usman will get KO'd and his brother Muhammad Usman gets cut in the same night? Do we think that? I don't know. I feel like that's too cruel, you know? I feel like that's almost too cruel for fate to do. But Hamdi Abdul Wahab is like due for getting shit on. Muhammad Usman kind of has been getting shit on. At least he is making it to decision, you know? But Hamdi, I think, has karma coming his way. The Dante O'May's decision was also, like, weird. I don't think this guy... Bro, this guy does suck. This is a tough one to predict. I'm going to go with Muhammad Usman by KO. I think Usman's going to go in there, try to make a statement, you know, for his brother fighting on the card, later on the card in the main event. But I don't think either of these guys are good. Like, I wouldn't put any of these guys, like... I don't think either of them get ranked for heavyweight. And that's saying something. Heavyweight is a dog shit, shallow division. And these guys are in the fucking kiddie pool, let me tell you. So, yeah. I'm going to go with Muhammad Usman by KO. Purely because Hamdi Abdul Wahab is shit. But he is, like, not a fat fuck. Like, this is the problem, man. Do I go back on my pick? This is the problem, bro. These fucking fat fucks. I hate them. God, I hate them. God, they're so bad. But he is young. And he owns his restaurant, man. Nah, I think he gets chinned. I really do think he gets chinned. So I'm going to go with Muhammad Usman by KO. Just one overhand right, I think, puts out Hamdi Abdul Wahab. I'll be honest, man. I'm sensing some PED usage. Alright, some, you know, roids or something going on with Hamdi as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he's coming down from the cycle and he gets chinned or something like that, you know. He might be 32 on stats, but I don't know, man. It's risky. It's risky. But I'm going to go with Usman by KO. Moving on, we have Ismail Naurdiev versus Jun Young Park, aka the Iron Turtle. Alright. Iron Turtle, a little bit of a hit or miss. He's not bad. He is good. I think his takedown defense is something that's crazy. You know, lost to Andre Muniz. Close fight, to be fair. Brad Tavares, I thought he clearly won 2-1, I'll be honest. I don't think that was a split. You know, he hasn't really beat anyone good, you know? Ismail, this guy, is this the guy who, like, bit his UFC fighter? No. Bruno Silva. Really? Why the fuck can't I remember this fight? Was that the fight where Bruno Silva was just getting, like, hugged against the cage the whole time because he's dumb? Fuck, I can't remember that fight. Damn, a lot of these no-names on the card that I just can't fucking remember, huh? A lot of these NPC fighters. I do want to go Jung Young Park. He got to the UFC off one win? Really? At least he's like a finisher. You know, Bruno Silva's kind of hard to finish, even though he's been cut from the UFC. I get it, but I don't know, man. I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm going to go with... that good. He is good. He's... Yeah. But, how old is he? 34? You know, Reach is kind of the same. You know, this one's tough, bro. I don't want to see what people are picking, because it will influence who I think of picking. I'm very tempted to go Ismail... Yeah. Yeah. You know, the Iron Turtle, he is good. His striking is, like, decent. It's not, like, bad, but he doesn't have a lot of power in his shots. Takedown defense, I'm pretty sure, is pretty good. He is not bad. But I do think he's, like, kind of due for chinning, I want to say. You know, he does recklessly go in on entries and shit. You know, he's kind of like the Temu Korean Robert Whittaker. You know, the Iron Turtle is. I'm going to go with Ismail Nurdiev. And I'm not confident with it. And I'm going to go with... Yeah, I'm going to go with decision. I'm going to wager that Ismail gets to the clinch, holds Young Park, the Iron Turtle, against the cage. You know, maybe gets a trip here and there, maybe gets something going, you know, and trips up the Iron Turtle, gets Iron Turtle on his back, and then he kind of just, like, Iron Turtle is active, though. Like, this is the thing, like, fuck, man, it's so hard to pick these bums. No offense to Iron Turtle. You know, I'm sure he's a good dude, but... Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nurdiev. What are people picking? Park, eh? That's interesting. I'm tempted, but I'll keep my pick. Nurdiev doesn't have anything good, but, like, I think he's able to beat an aged fighter. A gifted UFC, like, contract for sure, but I feel like they're gonna kind of push it. This might be a split decision type situation. You know? This might be like Park clearly won 2 of the 3 rounds, and they still give it to Ismail, you know, because of, like, 3 minutes of control time, but he was getting pieced up, you know, something like that. So I'm gonna go with Ismail. Moving on, fucking hell, I can't pronounce his name. Mike Tybeck Orobai. I just can't get that out of my head now. Versus Tofig Musayev. Don't know who this Musayev guy is. Orobai is good. He did get fraud checked, like, by Rebecca, which I called perfectly. Okay? That was a bloody scrap. That was a bloody war. Orobai is really good. That was his first loss. Does his first loss break him? Does he now become a bum in the UFC? Or can he bounce back? I think he bounces back. His opponent here is making a UFC debut from Ryzen. Not a great track record so far. This is at lightweight, correct? What the 159? Did he miss weight? Did he miss weight against Matheus Rebecca? Damn, that was only 7 months ago? Holy shit. God damn. Yeah, it was the end of last year. I remember that now. I was playing Call of Duty around that time. Yeah, I think, I haven't watched this other guy. This other guy looks like maybe it's a pity contract because of the country he's from. Only so they spread diversity. So I'm gonna go with Orobai purely based off that. Orobai hits hard. He's good on the ground. He's always, like, sort of active. The only reason why he really lost his last fight was because his eye got swollen up. You gotta do something like that to stop Orobai. This guy's got a fucking iron chin. I'm gonna go with Orobai, late round stoppage. 3rd round TKO, probably ground and pound. We're gonna see 1 dominant round from Orobai, and then probably, like, a wishy-washy round where you could coin flip it. And then Orobai is just gonna fucking finish him in the 3rd. Moving on, Muhammad Naimov versus Bogdan Grad. I believe this is a rebooked fight. I swear I've seen Bogdan Grad. Is this his... No. He just fought Lucas... Okay, that might be what I'm thinking of. Lucas Alexander, eh? A dog shit fighter. And who is this guy fought? Khan Offley, Felipe Lima. Damn, this guy's been around for a while. Muhammad Naimov. Oh! No. Who the fuck am I thinking of? Naimov's not ranked, right? I'm not thinking of... Muhammad Naimov. Why do I think this guy's ranked? Did he fight okay, now I need to make sure. Muhammad, I don't even know if I'm spelling this right. Naimov. UFC. Is this the guy who fought Nathaniel Wood? Is that who this is? Felipe Lima. Eric Onder, or Eric, whatever the fuck. KO Jamie Malarkey. Nathaniel Wood. Yeah, it is the guy who I'm thinking of. I thought this guy was fucking ranked. Am I tripping? Really? I thought he was fucking ranked by now. Beat Con Offley. Con Offley's not that great. I think he beat him decisively, if my memory... Yeah, it's coming back. Yeah, he beat him pretty decisively. Felipe Lima, the loss isn't, like, too sad. Was it a third round? It was something weird like that, right? It wasn't round 1. Yeah, he got subbed in the third round. Yeah, that I remember. Lima was, you know, he had some struggles. You know, he had some struggles. Bogdan Grad guy, I don't know. I'm not really seeing... Like, Lucas Alexander isn't that good, you know? Not my thing. I can't really trust Bogdan Grad to do well against, like, an actual battle-tested guy in Muhammad Naimov, you know? And Nathaniel Wood is good. I know that kind of hasn't aged the best because Nathaniel Wood, I don't think, is on a crazy heater right now. Fuck, man. I mean, Bogdan Grad's no Lima. I think you got to be really good at one thing to beat Naimov. I don't think Bogdan Grad is. Naimov is kind of open in areas, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Naimov. I'm not gonna think about this one too much. I'm gonna go Naimov decision, you know. Seems like everyone agrees. All right, makes sense. Moving on. Nazim Sadikov versus Nicholas Mata. Nicholas Iron Mata. Sick guy. Sick guy. I appreciate his fight style. You know, he lives on the sword, dies by the sword. You know, I might get chinned sometimes. I think he's coming off a sub, if I'm not mistaken, right? No. I thought he got subbed, right? No, he got Manuel Torres. Damn, okay. Maybe I'm confusing this guy for someone else. But, yeah, this guy, he's like he's a good Muay Thai striker. You know, he goes in there, lives on the sword, dies by the sword, does get cracked a couple times. You know, little Sean Woodson built. A little Sean Woodson built. It is what it is. You know, he's got some of the parasite in him. Nazim Sadikov, though, his last performance against Ismail Bonfim was very fucking impressive. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure he made, like, Ismail quit. I think Bonfim was having, like, success in areas, but I think Nazim Sadikov was looking sick. I think he got rocked pretty bad, if I'm not mistaken, now that I'm remembering it. It was, like, a kick or something that, like, kind of hurt Nazim Sadikov. And I think the narrative was that he was saved because of the doctor stoppage, now that I'm remembering. But he is still good. He subbed Terrence McKinney, Evan Elder, TKO, you know, Aaron the Damage. Oh, that's Elkins. Evan Elder. I think that's just another old dude. Sadikov is good. Mata is good, though. These guys aren't bums, to be fair. Like, these guys are, like, legit, like, could be ranked contenders. I think Nazim Sadikov will probably get this one done. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sadikov. For some reason, I'm just imagining, like, Nicholas Mata getting subbed. Now I gotta look this up. Nicholas Mata. Yeah, Nicholas Mata. Are you not gonna... I don't care about his fucking Instagram page. Nicholas Iron Mata. Am I crazy? Didn't this guy get subbed? Or am I tripping? I swear he got subbed, like, near his debut. Alright, and it's just not gonna fucking load. Yeah, I'm just picturing a sub. Nazim's really good on the ground, to be fair. He'll try to fight to get it to the ground. TKO. Has he never been subbed? Really? He got subbed 2013. Definitely don't remember that. Let me tell you. Okay, so, you know, he lost to Jim Miller, eh? Holy shit. This guy's been around a lot longer than I thought. What the fuck? Inactive fucking fighter here, but he's been fighting UFC level for quite a while. Yeah, it's Trey Ogden fight. No contest. Premature stoppage. Really? I don't remember. The Tom Nolan one, that one I remember. I'm pretty sure. No, he fraud checked the fuck out of Tom Nolan. Tom Nolan got like 1-2 punched. Yeah, man. Fuck. Because that was Tom Nolan's debut, I'm pretty sure. Or was it his debut? I need to make sure I'm getting this right, you know? Yeah, I think Sadikov's gonna get it done, though. I can just picture him getting the takedown, getting to the back of Nicholas Mata. But then again, Nicholas Mata's built weird, so maybe he won't get to the back. I don't know. Oh, this one's so fucking tough. Yeah, you see that little pudge, that fucking Sean Woodson fucking pudge right there. You know, he's got that midsection. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm going with Sadikov by sub. I reckon he gets it probably around 3. I think it'll be 1-1 going to the third, and Sadikov's gonna probably need a finish, or his corner's probably gonna be like, yo, you might need a finish here. And he probably goes in and gets the finish. Sadikov, I do think, is a little chinny at the ripe old age of 31, but I think he is good. I think he is good. I think he wins. But yeah, a lot of people are on Sadikov by KO. That's interesting. I don't think Sadikov's going to get a KO, but it's possible. You know, TKO, ground and pound type situation as well. Many things are possible. Moving on. Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kuniev. This guy, all I know is a roid cheat. It's a debut. Yeah, this guy's got drug tested. He got fucking popped a few times. That's all I know about this guy. That's literally it. Apparently he's actually good, but he is like a roid cheat. I'm going with Curtis Blades by KO, purely based off that. We'll go round 1, because it's heavyweight. I don't give a fuck. Fuck this fat fucking PED cheat. Alright, moving on. Rafael Fiziev versus Ignacio Bahamondes. Now this fight's gonna be a banger, let me tell you. Ignacio Bahamondes just submitted NPC Jalen Turner, literally put his fucking arm into that arm bar. Fiziev coming off a wicked round 1 against a rematch against Justin Gaethje after a knee surgery, and then making it close in moments, but he got caught doing the same entries every single time for some dumb fucking reason. Someone in his corner tell Fiziev to stop running in there, getting hit by the same dirty boxing overhand right, please. That check hook that Justin Gaethje landed like 5 times. One of them put him down, got right back up, and got hit another 5 times by it. Somebody fucking tell this guy to stop getting hit by that same combo. Now, my rant over. This fight's interesting. This fight's very, very interesting. Damn, he's coming off 3 losses. Justin Gaethje, I get it. Mateus Gamrot knee blew out, and then the rematch. I get it, but like, God, he's fucking good. Isn't he? Isn't he fucking good? Now, Fiziev is kind of having this problem where it looks like he's doing a lot of damage with his punches, but he's not actually doing a lot of damage with his punches. So that's kind of the problem there with Fiziev. He did knock down Renato Moicano, but like, and he did finish somebody else. I think it was like Bobby Green, I want to say. Might have been, it might have been that RDA one. But like, Manuel Torres, the guy who I think he beat, right? Yeah, TKO, ground and pound. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the problem here is that Ignacio could be the real deal, and he could be the future of the sport, and this might be a Benoit Saint Denis performance from Fiziev, and we might figure out that Fiziev sucks on the ground. But Gamrot was able to get a takedown. Fiziev was just able to get to the cage. It was so clean from Fiziev. People will propagate that Gamrot was exposing Fiziev on the feet like MMA Guru did in his last breakdown of Fiziev. That was just bullshit. That's just propaganda straight up. Fiziev was lighting up Gamrot and he was about to get a KO, let me tell you. Alright, if his knee didn't fucking blew out. But what I like about Fiziev is that he will implement kicks. He will implement like boxing combos. He will implement a ground game, you know, as we've seen in his last performance. And I think he's learned, like, he needs to be just that much better. And he had a better performance against Gaethje in round 1 than his last one. He made it very clear. But he did do the same mistakes where he was just going into the pocket, getting lit up. That's the problem, though, with Fiziev, you know? But it's Ignacio. Ignacio's a big dude, isn't he? 6'3" at lightweight is crazy. I have a feeling Ignacio's pretty chinny. Jalen Turner, I felt like could have exploited that, but he's an NPC and literally put his arm into the armbar. If you watch the fight, it's literally, he gets his arm out, and like it's a jiu-jitsu practice match, he puts his arm back in guard to get armbarred like a fucking idiot. Or was it a triangle choke. Like a fucking moron, man. What a brain dead fucking Jesus. Manuel Torres is aging well, especially because of that performance against Drew Dober. Christian Giagos is what it is. Ludovic Klein kind of aged poorly. Ludovic Klein, I don't think is that good. Fuck, man. This is a tough one, man. People forget, man. Rafael Fiziev, Tiger Muay Thai. He's now the trainer there after beating the Tiger Muay Thai trainer. I don't think Fiziev gets cut here, you know? And I think that is, at the end of the day, what it comes down to. I don't like how he's coming back after such a short... Like, 2 months after a Gaethje fight is a little ridiculous. But his weakness would be the leg kicks. You know? Like... Someone who goes kick for kick with Fiziev, I think, provides problems. And someone who's really good at dirty boxing provides problems for Fiziev. But if you don't have that dirty boxing and you're like a rangy sort of dude, I think it's just a matter of time before Fiziev catches you. And I'm going to go with Fiziev via decision, where he knocks down Ignacio once or twice. Ignacio tries to shoot takedowns. Fiziev stuffs them. We'll probably see one round of, like, Ignacio holding Fiziev against a cage, and Fiziev not really able to do much because Ignacio is such a big dude. But I think Fiziev is just going to be able to get to space, and once that space, Ignacio's trying to find his range. Can't really find it because he hasn't really fought guys like Fiziev, where they're very fast, very explosive, you know? And I think Fiziev is just going to catch Ignacio here and there. The only thing I'm really worried about is if Fiziev does Fiziev things, and he stays in the pocket way too long. Like, he did that a lot with Gaethje in the rematch, where he would go in, bop, 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 and he would sort of just stand there, wait there, like he's on a cooldown recharge time, and then he'd back out. You know, so I'm kind of worried about that. Because if you do that with Ignacio, Ignacio could sleep him. But I'm going to go with Fiziev by decision. One round, he's going to win because of the knockdown, and just by pouring it on Ignacio. Another round's gonna be close because of the control time in the clinch, you know, basically holding him against the cage. And then the other one's gonna be another clear Fiziev round. Yeah, I think we're gonna see Fiziev, vintage Fiziev here. You know, I do think he's improved since his first Gaethje performance, but he needs to find a different game plan when something's not working, instead of just going in there with the same sort of ooga booga, I'm gonna go in there with my really fast combos, if it doesn't work, you know? Not everyone's gonna be as chainy as Moicano. You gotta, like, do more than that sometimes, you know? Shoot a takedown here and there. Get him thinking about the takedown, especially a tall dude like Ignacio, man. Get a trip going, you know what I mean? Reverse position in the clinches, you know, shit like that, right? You know, get some leg kicks going on this lengthy beanstalk's fucking legs, you know? I reckon, like, a TKO via leg kick is very possible here. Fiziev does hit hard with his kicks, but we'll see what happens. You know, I'm excited for the fight. It's gonna be a banger. Lightweight banger. Moving on, Jamal Hill versus Khalil Rountree Jr. Oh, I can't wait for this fight. I can't wait for this fight. I know so many people on Khalil Rountree. And listen, man, I don't hate Khalil. I hate Khalil fans. That's what I'll say. These motherfucking Khalil fans, alright? Glaze this guy like his best win is not Anthony Smith. Okay? They glazed this guy like his 5-fight winning streak earned him a title shot against Alex Pereira. Against, name one of them, alright? That's not Anthony fucking Smith, who's not even in the UFC anymore, okay? Because he retired. Had a robbery against Dustin Jacoby. Robbed him. Clearly lost that fight. Dustin Jacoby just got knocked down. You know? But is Jamal Hill as chinny as Dustin Jacoby? Fuck no. You know, is he as chinny as Anthony fucking Smith? Fuck no. All right. Is his oblique gonna get kicked to oblivion like, what was his name? Modestus Bukaki or something like that? Chris Dawkins, you know? Or maybe, no. Maybe it was the one before this. Regardless, Jamal Hill's better than every single one of Khalil's opponents. Every single one of them, except for Pereira, obviously. Jamal Hill is the younger fighter, all right? People forget, man. Jamal Hill was a champion when Khalil Rountree was getting fucking smoked by Johnny Walker. Just saying, okay? Just saying. All right? Before he joined the cult. Now, I am a fan of Khalil in terms of his style, because I love Muay Thai. I love watching Muay Thai, like, fighters in the UFC. They're some of my favorite stances just to watch. But, bro, I can't believe he's the favorite in this, right? I don't see odds. I don't see odds here. I'm pretty sure Khalil Rountree is still the favorite. Brother, his best win is Anthony fucking Smith. His claim to fame is that he went to the 4th round with Pereira when Pereira was on antibiotics, was gonna pull out the day before the fight. Literally on record saying that. His coaches wanted him to pull out because of his health conditions. He had a broken fucking toe or a torn ligament in his foot. Like, he had one foot on antibiotics and was fucking, like, tired as shit, okay? Sick as fuck, alright? That was the worst Pereira, other than 40-pound weight drained within 24 hours Pereira that Israel Adesanya fought in the rematch. That was the worst Pereira that Khalil Rountree got, and he couldn't do shit to him other than an arguable knockdown, and I want to say round 1. Maybe it was round 2. Arguable knockdown in round 1. Don't get me wrong, did it hurt Pereira? Sure. Didn't fucking, in my opinion, didn't knock him down. A knockdown is when the fighter goes on his ass, okay? Goes, even when a fighter takes a knee, that's not really a knockdown in my opinion, and shouldn't be scored as one. The thing he did to Pereira didn't knock him on his ass. He literally squatted and got back up. The fuck? Alright? And then, round 2, he was slowing down, okay? He was kind of slowing down in round fucking 2 of a 5-round main event. You know? And then in round 3, by the end of round 3, he looked like a lamb to the slaughter. It looked like he was about to die. And in round 4, he fucking died, alright? Khalil Rountree literally quit in round 4. And I don't mean that, oh, it's the body shot that made him quit. I mean, he literally covered up. He role-played his victim, Anthony Smith, and he covered up. He didn't know what to do. He got overwhelmed in round 4 of a 5-round main event. Just saying, alright? Couldn't finish Pereira, which I think we can all agree, alright? Pereira is more chinny than Jamal Hill. I think everyone can agree with that. Alright, judging by Ankalaev almost finishing Pereira in the second. Pereira getting finished by Israel fucking Adesanya. Who does that except for a drunk Paulo Costa and a very young, inexperienced Robert Whittaker, okay? Are we gonna act like Robert Whittaker has a great chin? Alright, but regardless, I think Jamal's got a better chin than Pereira. You know? And styles make fights, and I'm sick of pretending that Pereira is not an anomaly in the UFC. He's arguably one of the best combat sport athletes of all time because of his success in other promotions in another sport, bringing over to this sport and starting fighting at a very kind of like an older age. I think it was, you know, teenage years, late teens, or maybe it was even when he was an adult. Because I think it was like a, you know, he had a lot of problems during his childhood if you haven't seen the documentaries. But, you know, Pereira is arguably one of the best combat sports athletes of all time. He is an anomaly amongst fighters. So I'm tired of people being like, well, just look at the Alex Pereira performance. Enough said. You mean where Khalil struggled in every single moment except for round 1, where he was all gas, no brakes, and it didn't do shit? Also, another thing about Khalil, I know it's like, you know, he lost the fight, so he can go back and kind of like analyze the rounds under that scope of like, well, Khalil did lose. He is so fucking patient that sometimes he will let like rounds go. Like Anthony Smith could have won those rounds if it wasn't like a 5-day short notice, Anthony Smith brain dead, just standing in front of him, waiting to be a victim, you know? He is, like, Khalil is way too patient on the feet for me to ever pick him in such a high-level matchup. And are we going to sit here and pretend like Khalil Rountree is even in the same fucking realm as Yuri Prohaska in terms of danger on the feet, high-level fight IQ? Like, are we going to sit here and pretend that's even fucking close to the matter of fact here? No, bro. He's not, man. He's not shit. He's maybe bottom 15 of light heavyweight. Like, what do we got here at light heavyweight? Bogdan Guskov, okay? He could win that one. Zhang Mingyang, I don't know. Johnny Walker has literally... The last time they fought, Johnny Walker fucking chinned Khalil, okay? Just saying. Azat Maxim, based on his previous performances, okay? Azat probably smokes Khalil. Let's be real. Nikita Krylov, I get it, he got swept by Dominic Reyes. Normally, Nikita Krylov doesn't look that shit, okay? So that might be an arguable one. Volkan Ozdemir, that's a questionable one where Ozdemir's tough enough to probably survive Khalil. You know, Dominic Reyes, he is chinny. If we're talking about levels of fighters, Dominic Reyes is better. I'm sorry. You know? Rakic might beat Khalil. You know? Jan Blachowicz would probably beat the fuck out of Khalil. Khalil's not finishing Jan Blachowicz, right? Carlos Ulberg, he'd probably tap a fucking little foot taps and run away the whole fight, but he'd probably still win. You know? Like, are we going to sit here and pretend Khalil Rountree is even close to the levels of these guys? I'm not, man. I'm not. Khalil Rountree is barely ranked light heavyweight, in my personal opinion. He's older. He's 35. He's only going to get slower. His cardio is only going to get worse. He's not Merab, okay? He's always had bad cardio in every single fight, and he's so patient. When he's against his best win, Anthony Smith, he will play the victim. He will, like... He won't play the victim, sorry. When he's fighting a victim, he will sit there and he will just wait for shots and land, right? Against a slow 40-year-old dumb fuck Anthony Smith, all right? I know Anthony Smith isn't actually that old and everything, but I'm just saying, right? He will, like, wait and pick his shots. You can't do that in these high-level fights. You're telling me he's going to be able to just sit there, you know, and in a 3-minute... and in a 5-minute round, sorry, I just spit on my monitor. In a 5-minute round, you're telling me that fucking Khalil is gonna throw like 5 strikes a fucking minute, alright? I don't see it, man. I don't see Khalil getting away with the shit he's gotten away with. The Dustin Jacoby fight, he was getting whooped. Oh, and he lands a big shot. Okay? And he was getting his ass whooped. Do I think Jamal Hill could get chinned? Yes. It's possible. We've seen the blueprint to beat Jamal Hill. You slip an uppercut as Jamal Hill's doing an entry, as he's going for a jab, like Pereira, as he's going for an overhand left, like Yuri Prohaska. You slip the jab, you slip the strike, and then you land back. You know, either it's a right hand or it's a left hand, right? We've seen the blueprint to beat Jamal Hill. You slip a punch, you land over the top, right? You sneak through that guard, right? And Jamal Hill, even in that Yuri performance, round 1, he was beating Yuri until he got, like, knocked down. Round 2, he beat Yuri. And round 3, he got chinned by Yuri. It is what it is, you know? He got sloppy after getting wobbled pretty bad. Do I think Jamal is going to get hit and take damage in this fight? Sure. Sure. 1,000,000%. Khalil's probably going to land a few jabs here and there. Khalil's probably going to land a few right hands that hurt Jamal. I don't think it's enough to finish Jamal Hill. I don't. And if this was a 3-rounder, maybe I could lead towards Khalil Rountree just a little bit. I can't do that in this fight. Jamal Hill is championship level. He is top 5 in light heavyweight right now. You know? He is top 5 in light heavyweight right now. You know, his win against Glover Teixeira, you know, great win. Okay, Dustin Jacoby split, yeah, you know. But the Dustin Jacoby one pisses me off to this day. It's still just like Jamal Hill, very good all around. That's another thing, man. Khalil, I get it. Listen, I'm a fan of Khalil for this reason. He doesn't shoot takedowns. He doesn't fuck with the ground. He wants to stand up his opponents. He wants to fight on the feet. I respect the fuck out of that. A lot of his wins are through doing like bullshit illegal garbage, alright? You know, I'm talking like the oblique kicks, you know? You're not gonna be able to do that with Jamal. Like, maybe he gets away with it here and there. But Jamal's problem was that ankle, the Achilles heel. It wasn't everything else. Maybe this could be a case where the Achilles heel is like what killed Jamal's career. But Jamal Hill is really good everywhere. If he wants to, I bet he could take this to the ground. If I'm Jamal Hill and we're striking in the first round, and Khalil wins that first round, hey, fair enough. If we're in round 2 and I'm down on rounds as Jamal Hill, I'm fucking shooting a takedown, holding this guy against the cage, making him work, trying to trip him up. Jamal's got 5-round cardio. We've seen it with the Glover Teixeira fight. Sure, that was 2 years ago. Khalil Rountree for the past 5 years has had 1 round cardio, 2nd round gets rocky, 3rd round, you can cut your losses unless he gets a finish. You know? I get it, he's gone to decisions with some of these guys, but that's when his opponents are gassed and tired and not able to really do much. I got a lot of respect for Dustin Jacoby. Jacoby is one of those fighters where he waits for his shot, like the Vitor Petrino fight, and then he goes in and smokes him, you know? And then he goes in for that big 1-2. Jamal Hill is not that guy. He sort of has like a Strickland stance, but he fights a lot like Strickland, actually. But he fights a lot more aggressive than a lot of Khalil's opponents. Like, he will initiate striking exchanges. And yeah, I'm worried he'll get caught like he did against Yuri, where he went in and Yuri got him with that jab and put him down in round 1. I am a little worried there, right? But if we're talking about, like, stances and styles, Rountree's not going to do leg kicks. He hasn't been for a while, right? He's not throwing leg kicks. He's not doing these Muay Thai things. He's kind of just a jab and a right hand, you know? Jamal Hill is throwing elbows. He's going to clinches. He's going to fucking... He's doing a lot of shit. And Yuri Prohaska's style is wicked. The Yuri that fought Alex twice is not the Yuri that fought Jamal Hill. Those are 2 separate people. The Yuri that fought Jamal Hill improved his head movement, learned not to eat punches with his forehead, and is like parrying shit, he's blocking shit, like he's got fucking hands up sometimes, you know? That is a completely different style than Khalil Rountree. Rountree is in your face like this. This is his head movement. He's not Yuri. You know? He's not Yuri. He's this. You know? I'm sorry, Jamal Hill is going to catch Khalil Rountree at some point. He will. He will. Khalil Rountree is also chinny as fuck. I'm not going to pretend like this guy got finished one of the worst ways I've ever seen a fighter get finished by Johnny Walker. And not necessarily the finishing sequence per se, but one of those Terrence McKenny's where you see the gum shield and it's like he's smiling and it's like, oh man, I hope your kids don't ever see this. You know what I mean? Like one of those finishes. Jamal Hill, yes, he's got an ego. Yes, he's a little delusional. But, as a wise man once said,
you got dominated. Dominated and knocked out.
He got caught, alright? Khalil Rountree got dominated. Dominated, okay? So, I do think Jamal Hill wins this one. If we're looking at their comp, Jamal Hill has the better comp. If we're looking at skill set, Jamal Hill's better everywhere, except for maybe power. Maybe power. But I'm sensing Khalil Rountree's got kind of the physique problem, where it looks like he does a lot of damage. He's not actually doing a lot of damage, you know? So, I've got Jamal Hill. I'm going Jamal Hill. I'm going KO. And I reckon he can get it in the 3rd. If this was a 3-round fight, I would probably still lean Jamal and say maybe decision 3rd round finish. Because this is a 5-round fight, I have nothing but confidence that Jamal Hill wins this. Khalil doesn't have cardio to go past round 2. And even if he does, like if I'm Khalil Rountree and I'm going against Jamal Hill after that performance against Pereira, which was 8 months ago, if I'm Khalil Rountree, my game plan is that I'm going to be slow, I'm going to be patient, I'm going to try not to gas myself out, and I'm going to do 60% punches instead of my 100% that I always do. But the problem with Khalil is that Khalil has always done 100% effort. I respect the fuck out of it. I'm a fan of Khalil's style, okay? But it is just like you're going to gas out. I can so see by the end of the first, Khalil looks a little tired. You know, Jamal's putting on a pace. You know, he's doubled Khalil strikes, but Khalil landed that one punch that kind of wobbled Jamal Hill, but Jamal did land double Khalil's fucking strikes. You know, round 2 starts up, Khalil's over there. You know, and then you have Jamal Hill just like fucking egging him on. Round 2 starts. Khalil starts fading. Khalil starts overthrowing. You know, and I do think if there's any time for Jamal Hill to jump back into the win column, I do think it's Khalil Rountree. Like, I think if Jamal Hill took like Azat Maxim, Dustin Jacoby, or not, Dominic Reyes. If he took like Dominic Reyes, Azat Maxim, even like maybe not Nikita Krylov, but even like Volkan Ozdemir or something, that's a little bit more riskier than him taking Khalil Rountree. Yes, Rountree is explosive in the first. And the second, when you get tired, your 100% throws that you're still throwing 100% with, they're doing like 60% damage. You know? It's like when you're in a video game and you're out of stamina and you're still trying to like hit something. It's slow. It's barely doing damage. You know? Shit like that. That's what Khalil's style is to me. And I just think Jamal Hill's going to be able to survive. And if he survives 3 rounds, Khalil is cooked. In the 4th and 5th, Khalil's just cooked, like he is. So if you're on the Khalil side, you have to be betting round 1, round 2 finish. And by that logic, you have to be under this idea that Khalil Rountree is a better finisher than Yuri Prohaska. And I'm not of that mindset. I can't hop on that train. It could happen. It's very possible it could happen. I just don't see it, you know? I gave it like a 5% chance that Khalil gets a win via chinning, you know? And that's the only way he wins, in my personal opinion. But, yeah. That has been my picks and predictions for the whole card. I got Jamal Hill by KO in round 3. I got Fiziev by decision, 30-27, maybe 29-28. I got Curtis Blades by round 1 KO against Fat Fuck. I've got Nazim Sadikov round 3 sub by Nicholas Mata. Gonna be a sick fight. Muhammad Naimov via decision, kind of a little boring, but he wins it. Mike Tadbek Orobai via round 3 KO, because his opponent's a debut. Don't give a fuck, and Orobai's good. Ismail because he's younger, little not battle tested, but I do think he's closer to improving than the Iron Turtle. Muhammad Usman by KO against Hamdi Abdul Hawil Wahab, because Wahab sucks. Coin flip, and then Tagir by sub. Decision, I mean. And then Oban Elliott. But that has been my picks and predictions for this fight card. UFC Khalil versus Jamal. I'm very excited for it. I've got something to look forward to tonight, because I'm recording this obviously before the fight card of Usman Buckley, so I'm hoping that's an entertaining fight. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, I want to thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you have a good day.